What's up, everybody? What's up? What's good with you? What's good? It's your boy. And I got somebody else back with me. Long time no see. You feel me? Hold on. Let me get this music right. Actually, I need it because we're gonna be doing videos today too. So let me turn this down. All right. So as y'all can see, Southern Girls in the house today, man. It's been a minute since we've been back on, and I'm really happy, man, with everything we got going on. As far as recently and everything like that. But I'll let y'all get caught up with her. But I'm doing good today. I'm doing real good. Had a great stream day. Look, Renegade. Ride or die. Appreciate you, Renegade. I let my homies know that we was doing some stuff today too. But yep, y'all know what time it is. I guess today, my baby on some other stuff. But let me let her introduce herself again and come back in here with everybody else. So let me shut up. How you doing, sweetie?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just coming back. For those who don't know, I'm Southern Girl, and I've been out sick for a while. And was kind of in the hospital some days ago, dealing with some issues, but I'm back. And this time we're gonna get into something a little bit different. Now, I know y'all are used to us on here acting stupid, and this is gonna be a little different, going back to our origins. When we first started making videos, we were discussing topics that were important to mental health and dealing with issues culturally, all that different type of stuff. We love to try to give information, or our perspective on certain things, and this is gonna be one of those shows. So we'll try to mix a little humor into it so it don't get too deep. Yeah. But this is a deep topic that we're both very passionate about. As far as mental health go, everybody knows this month is mental health month for men.
Supposedly. I mean, just keeping it 100, because there's so many things now. A lot of people are saying different stuff like, oh, where it's gay month as well. And I'm like,
it's Pride.
No. Somebody was trying to say it. No. I'm trying to say it the same way they said it, jokingly. And I was like, no, I know it's Pride Month, and I don't mean to offend any other people. I support that. But I'm trying to say it the way I heard it.
Okay, well, we're not going to regurgitate that, because
I get what you're saying.
That's coming from somebody who's just probably don't have enough tact to address it the proper way.
But I was going to respond with, I said, well, if that's what you think, this month is a month that everybody can celebrate, not just a few things. It's a lot of things. This also is the month for Juneteenth as well.
Right. It's Juneteenth. And not only that, is our anniversary month. So on the 23rd, we would have been married for 18?
No. It would be 17 this year.
17 this year?
This year.
Wow.
This year.
That is crazy.
17 years of marriage. We've been together as of last month. On the 23rd of last month, it was 20 years of marriage. No, just a relationship. Sorry. Because we met in 03. No, we met in 02. Jordan came in 03. So, yeah, you can do the math. The numbers are there.
Actually, no, I'm right. It's 18 years.
No, it is. This is 17 years this year, so I'm a year behind.
Yeah, so you need to catch up.
No.
So he ain't gonna get no coochie coupon for this time.
Well,
for that.
That's fine. I cashed in the last one. I'm good for a while.
Yeah.
I cashed in the last one. I'm good for a while.
I put in blood, sweat, tears. I know what's going on.
You didn't even know it was our anniversary last month.
I don't count that. As again, this man is the only man I know that want to count everything. Oh, I want you to remember our first date. I remember what day it was.
I remember the day I met.
No, he wants dates though. He wants to celebrate when we met. He want to celebrate our first kiss. He want to celebrate our first walk on the beach. He want to do. I mean, I can't remember all this stuff.
You don't have to.
I cannot remember all this stuff.
You don't have to. I don't really.
I remember milestones, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
My brain don't hold all that information like that.
Well, I'm choosing to do that because really, I know I'm not really a very thankful person like that. Even I forget some things. So, but when it comes to her, I just remember, and I remember the first day we met. You know, it was real special to me, and I ain't gonna never forget that day. You know, and then I also remember the first day that we both decided. It wasn't like, oh, well, would you be my girlfriend? And yes, no, we both decided to be together, and we chose that date. Like, hey, from this point out, it's me and you.
And I acknowledge that date.
Right. So that's why.
But it's not a date that I just necessarily celebrate.
See, but I do. So that's just me. Like, it's nothing to make you have to celebrate it. It's personal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like if you.
But it's not to say that I forgot about it either.
Right.
I just don't. I don't celebrate it all big like that.
Right.
I do milestones, and that's it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think, like, and then since we're speaking on Male Mental Health Month, like for me, that makes me feel good as a man. Because I'm a very forgetful person. Like, I forget a lot of shit like that. But for some reason, when it comes to her, I don't. And that's just, and I promise you, like, for birthdays, anything have to do with her, is not going to be forgotten. And especially if it was a special moment for me as a person, it's never going to be forgotten. And I'm going to always honor that. And I feel like that's just my way of honoring my wife or my best friend, is that I remember that moment and I remember those things. That it just benefits me. Like, I don't stress her to remember it. She don't even have to think about it. I do it for me. Mm-hmm. You know, and it makes me feel good. And it makes me feel good to let her know, hey, I remember this day. This is the day I met you. This is the day we started our relationship. You know, I brought her a card. I brought her a flower. I didn't do nothing extravagant or nothing like that. I just wanted to let her know, hey, I remember this. This is something that's special to me.
This is the day that you first farted in front of me. This is the day that man, come on, man.
Like, I don't even remember that day. I remember it, but I don't remember that. The actual date.
I'm not trying to minimize the efforts. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Mm-hmm. I really do appreciate that, mm-hmm. but every little thing though, nah, I can't do it.
But see, it's funny to me because then women will say like, oh, I want, you know, some women will say that they man don't do that for them, or he didn't even remember my anniversary, he didn't remember this, or he didn't remember that.
Well, that's true, but you ain't in a relationship with most women.
No, I'm just saying.
You're in a relationship with me, and I'm telling you, you don't have to do any of that.
What I'm trying to do is spark an opinion or a conversation on it.
Yeah.
So why do women want to stress men who don't do like
I can't speak for them.
I know. I'm just saying, but can you speak as far as terms as being a woman from your perspective? What do you think, and why shouldn't a woman either appreciate it like that or beg for it, or should just let things happen naturally?
First of all, you shouldn't beg for anything.
Right.
And then number two, I can't speak for those women. I can only speak for me.
I know that.
And what I'm saying is I'm not into all of that. I can be sentimental with certain things, mm-hmm. but I'm not gonna make you celebrate every little thing is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Like everything we can acknowledge it and say, oh yeah, today is the day that such and such happened. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna make it a big, oh, we gotta celebrate, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. No, I mean, it happened.
But can you, like, to kick this off, since it's Male Mental Health Month, mm-hmm. what would you say to a man that has a woman mm-hmm. that is stressing him about those little things like that?
Well, if you know that those little things are important to her,
right,
then, you know, I think it should be something that's discussed. And if she's that passionate about it, right, then you should be able to, you know, come to a compromise and just, maybe celebrate it in a way that both of you can agree on,
Right. Because see, the next thing I was gonna say is, why would a woman stress that so much? But then, when it's a dude's turn, some women that stress that, they don't do the same thing for them. They don't remember his first important things, or maybe the first day he started his job, and now it's been 15 years or 20 years he's been working there, and then, oh, I remember when you got this job, or I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of things that, I'm not saying all people do it, or all women, or anybody that's in relationships don't think about their significant other, but most women and certain people who are in relationships that stress that they want things a certain way, they don't apply that back sometimes, but they want it.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can say to
I
you
just
guys,
feel like, well, hold on, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like this. I feel like if I'm in a relationship with you and I say that I love you, it don't matter if it's an anniversary, it don't matter if it's Valentine's Day, it don't matter what's going on, your birthday, whatever.
Right.
I should be able to show you appreciation every day.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be an occasion for me to do something nice for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my way of thinking.
Right.
I'm not big on, playing into the marketing of holidays and all of that stuff. I feel like you should do that anyway.
Right.
Not because there's a specific day that tells you that you gotta go and get a card or get flowers or get candy for your loved one.
Right.
Why do somebody else have to tell you to do that?
That's true. And I just want to say to the ladies out there,
what's up, Sam?
What's up, Sam? I just want to say to the ladies or anybody in there in relationships with a significant other, that the things that you want out of your relationship, try to give back. The same energy you won't give. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I believe in 50-50. You know what I'm saying? If you want things a certain way in your relationship, please be 100% back. And even if you don't get 100% back, do what you know you would want to have. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that goes a long way. Because even if you're not getting that, if you continuously do something to let your significant other know that, hey, I care about you, I think about you, and they still haven't done it for you yet, they can never say, for at least on your end, that you don't do it, regardless if they doing it for you or not, because you always do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I do what I do when it comes to you.
Well, I don't do it to prove a point, to say that, the person, that they can't never say that I did this.
No,
and that.
I know that.
I'm not doing it for that reason.
Right.
I'm doing it because I actually want to see my partner happy.
Right.
And it has nothing more to do with anything else. I'm not looking for clout. I'm not looking for recognition. I'm not looking for none of that. I do what I do because I want my partner to be happy.
Right.
And that's it.
And I agree with that. Well, let me rephrase.
Not for no kickback.
Not for no kickback.
I'm not looking for nothing in return. I'm just doing it because it makes them feel good and it makes me feel good doing it.
Right. Well, let me rephrase what I said then. Not as a kickback, or like, I'm just saying, like, for your own self-clarification. If you're not getting something from your significant other that you're doing for them, just keep doing what you're doing. Because do it for you. That's what I'm trying to say.
But that's what I'm saying too.
Right.
It's the same thing.
But to let them know, like, hey, if you are doing that, you can always look back and say for yourself that you can, that person could never say, because you know what you do.
I believe, and this is with all relationships, not just, girlfriend and boyfriend or wife and husband or whatever. It's reciprocation is the key to all relationships. It doesn't matter if it's your friend. It doesn't matter who it is.
That's true.
If you do for me and I'm going to do for you, and it's going to be an exchange. Now, it's going to come a time where if it gets to the point where you're taking from me more than you're giving back, then that's an issue that I'm going to have.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that that's fair, and I don't think that it becomes to where you're taking advantage of me, not at this point.
Right.
And I'm not feeling that.
Okay. I can understand all of that, and I can see that, and I want better for myself mentally and physically. So the way I feel like it for mental health, male mental health month, the way I'm looking at it now, and this is what we titled the show, is that my wife put up a bunch of videos, which I already know how we do. I don't see them. I was about to watch it, and she's like, "No, don't watch that." I was like, "Oh, okay." But you already know she's the director / co-producer of what the show or theme is going to be about. So today, that's what we're focusing on. And we kind of going back to our roots of when we started our show. We just want to pass on some good conversation, man. Like, whether you go negative or positive, we just want to have a conversation about male mental health today. And we'll try to make it funny, and we'll have some cracks in jokes. So I know, Sam, if y'all ready, y'all come on and spit with it, because y'all men, right? We here, males, y'all here, and
even if you're not, just if it's just give a comment, or your thoughts are valid, and we're open to the dialogue.
Yeah,
that need to be had. We're addressing many things and many topics.
What is it?
He said yes, he's ready.
Okay, bet. Okay, well, we just wanted to try to open up, have a little dialogue, kind of get the muscles going, so that way we can get those. So the first video,
go ahead. No, I'm saying what we're talking about is men's mental health, the role and the placement in the household, and toxic masculinity.
Okay. So
and then also how this particular video we're about to watch, it shows the struggle of how sometimes us as parents, not just men, but just parents in general,
right,
we tend to project our anger and insecurities or frustrations out on our children, and that creates a generational cycle of dysfunction.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I've experienced it, and definitely we finna have one. So this is gonna be a good one. So let's get going. All right. So the first video is, I'm assuming that's David Banner. If y'all do not know who David Banner is, he is a rapper from out of Mississippi. In the early thousands, he had some bangers, but then he quit the rap game. He went and he became Muslim. He actually went and educated himself, and this is who he is now. He still appreciates who he used to be and who he is now. Mm-hmm. So let's just see what he has to say. I'm reading this, and it says, David Banner says he was a happy and playful kid until one day his father said this to him, and then he didn't smile again until he was 21. I bet. So I'm going to check this out. Please let me know if the volume is too low. I will definitely turn it up, but I'm going to make sure myself, because I know sometimes I'll adjust shit and then I'll leave it there, and then it's like, I can't hear it. Okay. It should be loud enough where y'all can hear it, though. Probably too loud.
10 years old, I walk in the house, I'm playful. My dad said, come here. He said, what the you smiling for?
Dang.
I said, huh? He said, I pay all the bills, and I ain't happy. What the you happy for?
Dang.
I don't think I smiled again until I was 21. Jackson, Mississippi was the murder capital of the United States when I was growing up. It's just that we was in the South, so we didn't get the sexy looks, and that ain't anything to be proud of. But it took me a while to understand that my happiness is my freedom. Like, that's the reason why I correct people now. I'm not gonna let nobody around me who not happy. I don't want people around me that's not getting it, that don't have the same type of draw, because you have energy vampire. So, I'm 10 years old, I walk in the house, I'm playful. My dad said, come here.
Yes.
Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, if I heard him correctly, he said his dad said he wasn't happy because he was paying all the bills and doing everything. So he told his son that, and then once he told him that, he ain't smiled no more after that.
Yeah, basically, what was happening to him was more, like I said, we all face this a lot, right, with parents, fathers and mothers, do this. Sometimes, they are going through things in life and have frustrations that they, don't know how to handle, and take it out on the child because the child is innocent and they don't know what's going on. They happy and they're enjoying their lives, and it's like it's almost makes the parents angry that you can enjoy your life but I can't. But yet and still you made certain life decisions,
Right.
to make your life the way it is.
Right.
And you decided to bring a child in this world, so you shouldn't take your anger or project your anger out on the child. They have nothing to do with you having to pay all these bills, and maybe you had a dead end job, or you got other issues going on that the child can't understand.
You know, it's funny. I get exactly what the video's saying. I've had that moment with a parent where they felt like, you know, there's no reason to be happy if I'm unhappy.
That's what he's saying.
Right. And then I was like, well, I'm sorry. You know, like if you were talking to your parent, I'm talking to my parent. I'm giving you a scenario of what I did, what I experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my mom, I said, you know, well, Mom, I'm not happy if you're not happy.
Mm-hmm.
I said that to her. I said, I don't care if you gave me the world. I don't care if you gave me brand new video games, clothes, whatever. If you're unhappy, I'm unhappy. And then she was like, well, I'm not happy. I said, well, I'm not happy either. Mom, well, no, I don't want you to feel like me. I want you to be a child. I said, I get that, but I want you to be a person.
Mm-hmm.
I told my mama that, you know. I try to let her know, like, you know what, you are my mother. Yes, you made me, you're responsible for me, but at the same time, you're still a person too. You got a life, you know, and if you need to pick up, if you want to rest, or you don't want to do shit, or you don't want to deal with me, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we come from another era of parenting that came from another era of parenting, and every generation changes up a little bit, but I just know my mother just knew hard work. She knew that, but she didn't know how to regulate her feelings and emotions from it, though.
Well, see, we did a video years ago about energy vampires.
Right.
That was like one of our original topics
yeah.
that we did in the past. And that's the same exact thing. You know, parents don't always realize that they doing it.
Right.
But you know, your children, you're sucking the happiness and joy out of them. You know, you're using that and you're saying, well, if I can't be the way that you are and I can't be as happy as you, then you don't need to feel none of it. I'ma dim your light and stomp your light out because I don't see, you know, any healing, or I don't see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it is. And it's sad that it's like that, but it is like that.
Yep. It is. It hurts me to know that no matter how much we come across people who ask either me or my wife certain things, because we're older, you know, we're a little older. Like people come up to you and ask you all the time about certain things, or what do you think about this? The main thing I hate to hear the most is when I talk to a young woman or a young man, they ask me about what it is to be a good father.
Mm.
Because most young men and young women I bump into, they don't see what they see with me and my son, right? They be like, I've never seen that before. And I'm like, damn, that's actually hurts for me to hear a child say that.
Mm.
You know, that they never seen a male person be around the family, whether it's their mother, other siblings, or whatever, and have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's very dark to hear to me, because that just lets me know that either two things, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. Either that man wasn't wanted to be around to begin with, maybe it was just a decision that didn't work out, and then maybe now that man was maybe too immature to deal with responsibilities or things. And then he's choosing to not be around or not have nothing to do with it, even though the child is there, the opportunity is there. So those are the two. When it comes to a male individual, this is just my opinion, being responsible when it comes to family and relationships. Either they're going to be taught that stuff, or the sad part is most of them probably never had it and is trying to invent it for themselves and trying to have it. Like myself, I'm gonna be real. I didn't have it. I had parents that took care of me. I had parents that loved me to a certain degree, but they only loved me the way they knew how. So there was still some lack of understanding. There was still some lacking of communication for me to be a good husband in my own eyes and for me to be a great father. Now, of course, there's no booklet to raising children at all. There is no booklet to being a parent at all. Like, so I'm not going to sit here and bash my dad or my mother, but what I will say is this. I do know that communication does need to be taught, regardless of whatever. I do understand that teaching someone about their mental health early, young as they eat, I don't care if they toddlers, teaching them how to regulate their emotions early is a good thing. Learning how to be angry in a constructive way. Learning how to be sad in a constructive way. Learning how to be scared in a constructive way. You're gonna experience these emotions.
It's about having emotional intelligence,
right?
And being aware of what you're feeling and why you're feeling that way. A lot of people walk around mad and frustrated, don't even know why they feel the way they feel. They have misdirected anger, and then they take it out on, people. And then they take it.
Sorry, you good?
What are you doing?
I'm just getting the chat for me so I can read it. So I can look all the way over there.
Yeah, he. We don't necessarily know why we're frustrated.
Okay.
But we know that we're frustrated for a reason.
Right.
But a lot of people are not self-aware because we weren't taught to even verbalize our emotions to begin with.
Yeah. Sam asks, have y'all ever watched Dead Poor Society?
No.
I've heard of that. I've heard of it. I think I might have, but I just don't remember. It's been a long time. But yeah, that sounds familiar. You got to put some more in the chat, Sam, on that one. But now I got this up, so I got to reach right over there to try to read it.
Yeah.
But that video just lets me know, like I said, I try to, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then we'll move on to something else. Well, at least for me. When I had met my baby now, she had a son. He was 4 years old. And I tried to make sure I knew what it was to be a step parent because I had one. And I had a negative experience with that. It was not a great experience with my stepfather. So I wanted to make sure if I was going to be in this young man's life that I was going to try to at least give him the best positive things of a man that I could do. I'm not perfect because I've done some negative things with this young man. But I try to do my best to not do as much as I've experienced because nobody's perfect. He's grown now. He's moved out. He has his own place. He's doing his own thing. And sometimes I feel like, did I teach him enough as a man? Because I didn't have my father. My father was lost to me. He was murdered. So as I was raising him, I kept trying to think of what's the best way to teach him how to be honest, how to be at least loyal to the people that's loyal to him, and how to conduct himself in a way to where he could be the best man he could be. Because truth be told, and I'm only saying this and it's just my opinion, there is no woman, for all my single women out there, and this is no discredit to none of y'all, but you can't raise a man. You can't. You can guide your son, you can teach him, you can love on him, you can discipline him, you can do all of that, but you cannot teach him what a man truly is. You can't.
Do you think that your father was present in your life?
He was present in my life as much as he could be. That's the way I'm gonna say it, because I think he could have probably been present more, but I don't know. I didn't know how his work thing was. I didn't know. We never had that conversation.
I'm asking, how do you feel?
Yeah.
That he was present?
I feel like he was present.
You feel like you learned a lot from him as a parent?
No. I think I didn't get a chance to learn a lot from him until like a few weeks before he died. That's when we started, really communicating. Because we didn't communicate at first.
So why do you feel like, why did y'all not speak or spend time before that point?
It could have been his own personal reasons, because he was an adult. I'm a kid. I'm being real. Like I don't know that story like that because we never got a chance to air that out. he died. So
did you go to him? Did you
went
try
to my dad. I went to my dad to the way I could go to him because he was really disciplinary. So even if I tried to approach him a certain way, sometimes he would come with a belt before he came with a conversation. So it was hard for me to do that.
What is it?
He said, "I'm."
What's up, son?
He said, "I'm in this well, technically, I'm in the what? Oh, he said, oh, okay, now that's Stunner.
What is he saying? I'm in.
He said, man, fuck them kids.
Edition jail.
Yeah. And then, hold on. Okay, it says one of my reunion. Oh, yeah, that is right. Yeah. I do remember that now.
Oh, he's
He was
in
in ad
jail.
It should be over with soon, Stunner. Sorry, bro. Twitch has been switching up on my ads. Like, they've been putting so many ads up. It's crazy, bro. I apologize.
Well, I thought the ads start in 34 seconds.
Well, see, they start, but for some people that click in,
we have a delay.
That those delays, so it'll let us know that it's fit to do another commercial, but at the same time, it's
about to do it. It's already doing it for them.
Right. But the question you asked was just knowing my father, right?
Yes. Do you feel like you got the tools that you needed to be a man from your father? Was it being taught?
No. And I don't say that as a diss to my father. I really believe that I just didn't get the opportunity. And on top of that, because of the way he started raising me, it was hard to communicate with him in certain ways. Until I had a day where I did something wrong, and I was wrong. Mm-hmm. He came, he picked me up, and he disciplined me. But for some reason that day, in that disciplinary action I was getting, he was spanking me. I yelled at my dad and I told him, I said, I don't think you love me. And he was like, what the fuck you mean? I don't love you. You just did something at the stupid ass school. Your ass is acting up and shit. Why you acting up? Now, I don't know what possessed me as a kid because, I was terrified of my dad. But for some reason, I just wasn't. I didn't care no more. And I told him, I said, you know what? You so quick to want to just hit me to make me do what you want instead of hearing me out and us having a conversation. I'm not a stupid person. I can comprehend, So I said to him, first of all, I told you I had learning disabilities. You don't want to believe it. I told you I had problems trying to understand and learn things. You just said I'm just trying to misbehave because I don't feel like doing it. You not listening to me and you could care less. So since you just love to beat on me, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to have nothing to do with you anymore. All you want to do is just make me do what you want. You don't treat me like I'm a person. You treat me like I'm on some kind of property or something. Or I need to behave like a pet or something. And I need to just do what you want when you want it. Mm-hmm. My dad looked at me. He started crying.
So you would say that the communication between your parents was broken?
Oh, yeah.
Not so much on your end, but their end.
But their end because
both ends.
It would be both because then after a while of me dealing with them a certain kind of way, I didn't want to talk to them, and I didn't want to approach them in any kind of way, especially my dad because he was the disciplinary.
So you shut down.
Yeah, but pretty much. But then here come the fucked up part. After that conversation, and I yelled at him and I hit him back. I actually physically hit my father. That's when he knew he went too far. Because I've never raised my hand to any of my parents, not even my mother. But my dad, I raised my hand to him because I was tired of him beating on me. Because he felt like that was the only way to get me to do what he wanted.
Right.
And so to have a male beat on another male to get them to act right, I get it. I get that you need to be checked for things that you do. But when you treat a person like they can't talk, or they don't have no rights, or they don't have any kind of say-so or an opinion, you're basically making that person feel like that anything they do is for nothing anyway. Mm-hmm. So I would say that to most males, like checking your son and regulating your son, it's a double-edged sword because you can overdo it too. And I've done that. I've done that with my kids. It was done to me. So I want to say to any male out there, whether you're trying to help or guide somebody or give advice, make sure you regulate who you are before you start trying to help other people. because even I had to do that too. You know, you got to take a step back and really analyze the fact that yes, you are male. How you approach females, how you approach children, how you approach your elders, how you approach a lot of people. It says what kind of man you truly are, regardless of whatever. I ain't got to really teach you nothing. It's how your personality comes off in the world is gonna let people know where you stand at.
A lot of it is just learned behaviors, and you know, he may have learned that from somebody that taught it to him. But again, he can't give you something that he's not equipped with, or he wasn't given the tools to have.
Right.
You know, if you're asking him to be understanding, he hasn't been taught understanding.
Right.
And if you want him to be compassionate, he hasn't been taught compassion. It's crazy how we learn things,
right.
You know, and we learn behaviors that we don't like being done to us, but then we also do it to other people.
Right.
You know, and it's not consciously sometimes, it's subconscious. You know?
It's crazy when I think about it, for real. Like that's why I say now, me being older and understanding more, I can't get mad at my parents. I can't get mad at you. I can't get mad at even our children. You have to know yourself, and you got to understand how you act, and you know, you put your energy out in the world, because you might be wanting to do the right thing, but the way you approach it could be the whole fucking wrong way.
The intent is good,
right?
But the delivery and the approach is bad,
right?
So if you approach something negatively, even though you had good intent with the message, if the delivery is fucked up, nobody's gonna listen to the message after that. They're gonna look at how you approached it first,
right?
So that's the downfall, and that's where communication and all that comes into play, and never disciplining your children out of anger.
Oh yeah.
You know, that, because I mean, that's something that we both were taught.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can't expect to have a close relationship with your kids, or a healthy relationship with your kids, if you've treated them a certain way in their earlier years, and now y'all not close, and you wondering why.
Right. It's crazy but true. But the best thing I can say to anybody with the last one is, if you have a father or a male figure in your family, or a relationship of an elder male, and they talk with very aggressive tendencies, and they talk to you very nonchalant, not respectful, you know what I'm saying? Just really, oh, I don't give a fuck what you think, and such as, you know, just coming at you like that. 9 times out of 10, instead of taking in that energy and saying, okay, well, that person disrespecting this and that person has an issue. And the best thing you can do is just walk the fuck away. Don't even respond. Don't give back the same energy you even get.
But as a child, it's not easy like that.
For a child, it's not easy.
To just walk away from that, because you have to live with this person. This person has all power over you. They pay the bills. They giving you food. They giving you clothes. All of these things you have to rely on a parent for. So it makes it hard if you a child dealing with that and you don't know how to handle it.
Well, I'm going to say something that somebody didn't tell me. You're going to have to face that adult. And you're going to have to try to communicate with that adult the best way you can. But once you, for safety reasons, I'm saying this now. Once you realize you cannot get no kind of understanding, you need to find another reasonable adult. Go to a school, go to a counselor, go somewhere.
Seek outside help.
Yeah, seek outside help.
If you can't get it from the people that you reside with, go to someone else that you trust and know that you can open up to, be vulnerable to, and let them know what's going on.
Yeah, because bullshit, man. The hell with that. And I'm only speaking that from there, which brings up this next point that we finna hop into. And I'm finna show y'all right here. And it's just a picture, but the picture speaks 1,000 words. Put it like that. I hope y'all can read this. I'll read it out loud. Black men dealing with depression. I can't read this. Can you read this with it? I can't see it.
He's saying I'm drowning. I can't get out of debt. No friends, no family. I need help.
Mm-hmm.
He has his hand up and he says, I need a helping hand. Anyone? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
And the hand that's being shoved in his face is society saying, man up and stop complaining. You're being too emotional. And he's coughing and he says, but I'm about to drown. I asked for help.
Mm.
So that's the picture that really grabbed my attention when I first saw it, because I was like, damn, that is part of the reason why too that, you know, a lot of men are set up the way they are, is because they're not provided a safe space to be open and to be vulnerable. And you know, men have emotions just like anybody else in human. But yet and still, you have to bear the weight of the world on your shoulders. You can't cry. You can't show no frustration. You can't complain about nothing. You just got to go out there and get it and you know, suck it up. They basically tell you that. Suck it up and deal with it.
But then when you spaz the fuck out and you ain't got no emotions and you cold, now I can't be with you. You too cold. You too mean. You don't even communicate.
Why do you think the crime rate amongst men is so high?
Yeah.
Because they don't have a healthy outlet.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't have anybody they can turn to, or talk to, or trust to be vulnerable with their feelings. None of that.
And then you brainwashed to think that trying to do that shit is stupid too.
Yeah. Or you weak,
Mm-hmm.
or you know, or you this and that. You know, I don't want to use the word. It starts with a P.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you get called all out your name just for wanting to have some kind of support system,
Or just having an emotion rawly.
yes,
Raw. Like you just. I've seen dudes, and we've done this, even I've done this, where a homie had just broke up with somebody. This is true story. He bawling. I walk up to him and say, man, you know what? You look ugly when you cry. Now, that wasn't necessary, but I did it as a joke, right? He turned at me, he said, man, he said, as much as I would want to laugh, he said, I can't. I'm actually really hurting, bro. I love that girl. You know? And I was like, damn, bro, I didn't know you felt like that. I'm sorry. Now, hold on. When I caught myself after the fact, I was like, damn, I should have came at him like that. I should have thought about it first before I tried to joke with him. Mm-hmm. But the first thing was, nah, I don't give a fuck about his feelings. Let me go ahead and say some stupid shit to him.
Well, part of that is a mechanism,
right?
Psychologically, men try to laugh off things too sometimes with their bros, because the conversation makes them uncomfortable. It's not about the person that's crying or going through the pain. It's the person that has to console. They have an issue doing that because it makes them feel uncomfortable, so they want to laugh it off. Or say, oh man, you just need to get over that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let's go to the strip club, or
yeah.
let's go drink and talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like anything but dealing with raw emotion. Y'all, a lot of men, I'm not all, but a lot of men are emotionally unavailable in that sense, because y'all haven't been taught how to filter that out.
Yeah. And I want to ask all the brothers in the chat right now, all the men and women, if you're in here, same thing, or give an example. When you see that picture, you saw that picture of society telling them to tough up. Have y'all ever been in a moment to where y'all feel like you really, really needed help and you had to communicate that? Now, if you don't want to communicate that, you don't have to. But I would really like to know from somebody in the chat before we move on to the next section, how do you deal with being your own man to you? And it ain't got to be something deep. You ain't got to, just say how you honestly feel in a few words. The best thing I could say as far as me thinking and dealing with a man and being a man and trying to be male and trying to be a father, a husband, all these things, I'm being me. To some people, I'm a punk. I'm gonna go ahead and say it to some dudes. I run behind my wife and shit, and I ain't no real man because I'm not in control of everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the one bringing in the most money. I'm not the one that's doing this and that in the society that, or the male mindset I come from the era I come from. You are supposed to be in control of everything, whether it's the money, whether it's how much is coming in, whether it's the cars, the way you stay at. I'm supposed to be in control of all of that. Supposedly.
That's what society says.
That's what society says.
And that's why they label it as a unconventional marriage.
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? For one, because they say, well, it's unconventional because y'all roles are reversed.
Right.
Your wife work and you know, and you doing the opposite and all this other stuff. We doing what makes our relationship work.
Right.
And everybody's relationship don't look like the next person's relationship.
You say, hold on, we got some responses in the chat. It says, yes, sir, the power of walking away. That right there is the power, because it puts a boundary that you will not tolerate disrespect at all. It said remove yourself from the person's toxic power is full power. You know what? I appreciate you, Renegade, but damn, you sure right, bro. Because at first I used to respond to that energy with more aggressive energy. It doesn't work. But when you walk away and you let that other person deal with their unhinged emotions, because you're not responding to it. It's like a kid. You ever seen a kid that's crying for something and they want it, and you tell them no, and they just start kicking and throwing a tantrum? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Any aggressive dude that you see talking shit and want to fight and all this and that, if you just walk the fuck away, they gonna look like a child.
And this is the beauty of walking away is when somebody's trying to get a rise out of you, it's like that negative energy has to stay with that person. It don't travel no further. If you don't throw fuel on it, if you don't throw fuel on it, and you just say, okay, well, I'm finna go. That person has no choice but to deal with their own emotions, and it's not gonna travel to you. It got to stay with them.
Right. Sam put something up real good. He said, "Bro, I wanted to crash out." That's what I know. I know that's what he meant to say.
No. He wanted to cuss out. He wanted
to cuss out an old man at church for telling me I was too young to
not feel well.
Now,
what?
Once again, projecting his own feelings on this young man. He said, I read what he said. He said, you too young to not feel well.
You know what? I witnessed that before, and this was at my job actually. Now there was a older manager asking a younger employee to do something. Right. They wanted them to lift up some boxes or something like that. The young guy actually, he had some injuries. He had pulled a muscle in his back and everything. The manager was trying to, I guess, joke with him, but he said it in a condescending way. He was like, "Oh yeah, well, you too young to be in pain, and you too young to be having conditions and injuries and all that." They said wait till you get my age, and I'm thinking like, what does that have to do with anything?
Right, a lot of shit. Like you ain't gonna
like you can get have things happen to you at any age.
Right. Are you not even going to acknowledge this person or what they're going through right now, or just say, you know what, I'm sorry that you're going through that?
They're not acknowledging what he's going through. They just want they all they heard was, I can't do what you asked me to do. Right. They don't care nothing about nothing else. And I thought that was some cold-blooded shit.
Yeah, I appreciate the response to Renegade. I see you respond to Sam's stuff, and thank you for doing that. And then Stunner came in with something right here. It says, it is extremely tough, especially for most of us who didn't have a father in the house. Mama had to play both parts, but Mama couldn't teach you how to shave. Mama, yeah, I just said this. He's right. Like there's just certain aspects. It says, "See if your mama builded a fire in you, and then the best man that you can be." And that's another thing I
But
meant
it's
to bring up.
filled
Stunner.
it's filled with emotion, all because that's the example you get from being raised by a woman. Exactly. And I want to bring some correction to this statement by saying this. Women, and I'm speaking to, whoever might be watching. I hate when that word is being said. I'm mama and daddy.
I've heard
now
that.
as just because you're a single parent. No, you're not. You're not both. You're a mother, and that's all you will ever be. You're not father, because just because the father not there don't mean that you're equipped to teach that man how to be a man. You can't do it. You can't do it. I will never know what it is to be a man, even though, I live with one. I don't know what it's like to walk around and be a man. I don't.
And I don't know what it is to walk around and be a woman.
So I can't teach my sons. If you wasn't in the picture, I could teach my sons how to be men.
Yeah.
I can only teach them what I know.
Right.
Or what my experiences are as a woman.
Yeah.
So that would bring us, really to the next.
Yeah.
No, not this one.
Oh,
not this one.
Not this one.
No.
But that was the next one.
No.
You want?
Because we're
gonna flip it.
We finna flip it around.
Okay.
This goes to the other one. Yeah, this next video leads right into that. Okay. Folks can be born with disabilities and stuff. Yes, that's renegade. True. That's correct.
That's true. It's true.
But it seems like people don't have compassion anymore. They only care about what they want at the moment.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear no excuses or reasoning as to why you can't do it.
Right.
They just want it done.
Right. And so that's really weird to me. But let's go into this next video here. Let's see what's up. It says right here, they don't even hear me. Now, I see a man and two women.
Yeah, they didn't even hear it. This man is trying to stress a point about something.
He's trying to convey something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a room full of women.
Okay.
And here's the thing. He's not wrong, but he's getting a little pushback. But just listen to the message.
Okay, I'm going to play it twice.
Okay.
Okay.
Raising especially a boy. I came from a household where it was just a mom. I had my grandfather and I had my pops, but there was no man in the household. I started arguing with females once I started to go through things. It got physical orders. You know why? Because I was an emotional boy. I didn't have nobody in the household to say, okay, look, this is not how you go about it. Go to the gym. I had to learn this from YouTube. I had to read books, go on YouTube, do these different avenues I had to learn. Grandpa telling me certain things, pops telling me certain things. But when you have a man in a household, the chances of that boy that's becoming a man to grow up emotional, 80% of the people that's in jail came from single household mothers. Meaning this, if I'm in a club and step on my sneakers, yo bro, what's up, bro? What you doing? Now guess what? Somebody dying, somebody going to jail. You know why? Because that boy wasn't raised in a household with men. That's the problem in society, because females with the mindset that I don't need a man. That's the reason why we have females in this generation that's having kids that I don't need a man. Now they growing up without fathers. Now y'all raising emotionalized boys.
No. That's not even everybody's situation. That's not even everybody's situation.
When you're raising especially a boy, I came from a household where it was just a mom. I had my grandfather and I had my pops, but there was no man in the household. I started arguing with females once I started to go through things. It got physical orders. You know why? Because I was an emotional boy. I didn't have nobody in the household to say, okay, look, this is not how you go about it. Go to the gym. I had to learn this from YouTube. I had to read books, go on YouTube, do these different avenues I had to learn. Grandpa telling me certain things, pops telling me certain things. But when you have a man in a household, the chances of that boy that's becoming a man to grow up emotional, 80% of the people that's in jail came from single household mothers. Meaning this, if I'm in a club and step on my sneakers, yo bro, what's up, bro? What you doing? Now guess what? Somebody dying, somebody going to jail. You know why? Because that boy wasn't raised in a household with men. That's the problem in society, because females with the mindset that I don't need a man. That's the reason why we have females in this generation that's having kids that I don't need a man. Now they growing up without fathers. Now y'all raising emotionalized boys.
No. That's not even everybody.
So with that one, man, Stunner he said this. He just literally said this. Now, don't get me wrong. My father was around. We just had this conversation, right? My father was around, and he was in and out. He worked a lot. So that's why I said, when you said I have a good relationship with him, I only had a parent relationship with him. I never got to know my father. But by the time it was about to start off, where I got to know him as a person and as a man, he died. So to be real, I ended up meeting up with Stunner, and I grew up just with him, and we was trying to, well, I can't speak for him, but for me and my ideas, I think we both were looking for the men we wanted to be, and we was listening to our mothers to try to be the men that they wanted us to be. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being the men or getting some lessons from some men who've already lived the experience that could give us some, some guidance. But no, we was guiding off of what we thought our mamas wanted a good man to be. So we were trying to become that. I can't speak for you, Stunner, but I'm just assuming that's where you're probably going with that.
But again, you can't live up to an idea that somebody else have in their head.
Right.
Sometimes women do that, and they try to create this perfect man out of their son.
Right.
And they try to build up this idea of what they deem a perfect man to be, and teach them, okay, this is how you're supposed to do. This is supposed to how you're supposed to act, and all this. But again, you're never gonna live up to the expectations of what she already has built up in her mind.
True that.
And you don't even have a man close to that in your life to even show this boy how to be. How you gonna say what a good man is when you don't even have a good man around your child to begin with?
Or you ever seen one?
Never seen one. Never, not at all. So what are we talking about?
Sam says, those women ain't giving that reason any credit.
They won't, because they don't get it. They're women. They can't identify with the male experience. So of course they're gonna say that.
And see, the results of so much, we don't need men. So much to the point to where, and not all women are doing that. So I'm not, don't sit here and take that I'm saying that like all women are doing it. No, some women are doing that, and some women are being taught that is an idea. That is that's a lifestyle. Like, I can do this. I don't need him. No, you don't. But if you have a child, you're going to need everybody to help raise that child. I promise you that. It ain't gonna matter how much you don't think you need nobody.
My viewpoint is this: if you needed a man to create that child, you need a man to help you raise that child. A child needs both upbringings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it can't just be on one sided.
But we all
even with females, it's the same thing. Daughters are raised by single parent mothers too, and feel like the mother telling them fuck your daddy.
Yeah.
I don't need him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then next thing you know, now that girl growing up with daddy issues, and because she never got that balance.
Yeah. Whether it's wanted, granted or not, whether it's for the best or not, if you decided as an adult or young adult too to sleep with someone and make a baby with that person should have all right to help raise that child, whether you see them fit or not, because they took in the responsibility to help make him. Give them the opportunity to do their part as a parent. But when you try to X that shit off the gate because for whatever your personal feelings are, and that's
your personal feelings.
Yeah, that's your personal. That has shit to do with you.
That don't have shit. That shouldn't affect the child. You're letting it affect the child because you're making decisions for that child based off your own emotions.
It don't make no sense. Like I've experienced that from one point of view to another. Don't worry about it, Sam. I got you. I don't know what
it say.
Stunner said something.
Wait, you gotta scroll.
I got it. I gotta fix it. Hold on, because it's not letting him access. I give it to him. Boom.
What did he say?
Go ahead and read it. Here, it's right there, so you can read it.
No, I don't need that. I got glasses.
I don't. I do, but I can't see that shit.
What are there examples of good men though? Is it the father that wasn't there? Is it the molesting ass uncle you got?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ned DeWine? Damn. No, that's some real shit though. I mean, women kill me sometimes when they demasculate men and go against the grain of a decent man in order to shit on him. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. And I get what you're saying now. It's sad though, because there are men who grew up neglected,
Mm-hmm.
and you get your Ned DeWinos, you get the touching uncle.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I can
you
say
get, you get the pookies.
You get the
You
pookies.
know, yeah,
you
you
get
know what
all
I'm
that.
saying?
You know, and the sad part is that just like when men take responsibility for that, women need to take responsibility for that too. It goes both ways.
Right.
So the sad part is though, we don't get enough love, man. We really don't get enough understanding and open spaces for us to do that. Now, don't get me wrong. This generation, I think, understands more about communication now, you know, from a younger generation. So I said not a young man really communicating, whether they from the hood or not. They're really open to communication and stuff now. So
Trying to switch
it's
to another video.
oh, here, I got it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the best thing for you to do is just try to be open with yourself and your friends. These are the males I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
And really start having conversations about your emotions. Which one?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the next one.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but it's like this. Men give life, right? Which is that's the next video we're going into.
Uh-huh.
But when women give birth,
Right.
without y'all planting the seed, we cannot have babies. We cannot bring forth life into the world.
Right.
So it starts with a man.
Right.
You know, but that's why I'm saying everybody has their own roles to play in it. Even though y'all plant the seeds, we have to incubate and, you know, bring that child into the world.
Yeah.
So you can't have one without the other.
You can't. But here's the funny part about everything. We're expendable. That's also a mantra in the world, that men are expendable.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that. I'm a boy.
Mm-hmm.
I grow up. Any dangerous situation, women and children first. It's always, that's a saying that ain't died yet since I've been alive.
Yeah.
So
That's sending a message.
that's letting you know.
That your life don't mean shit. And then how does that make you feel as a man?
I'm expendable.
That's crazy.
I'm expendable. That's real shit. Now, I'm not saying that for any man that really do, because I honor that. I honor that. If I was in a situation and y'all was all here, and then I would put my life on the line for my wife and my kids. I'm going to do that. But I'm just saying in general, though, if a man that don't have no kids, a wife, all that, even him,
Right.
they got to go first. You stay until such and such and such. I mean, there is certain things that we have to deal with as a you know, man, that y'all will never understand.
We never understand, right?
Just like how y'all got to deal with certain things that we could ever birthing a child. I will never understand that. I will never know that pain. I would never know none of that. But I would rather you deal with that than deal with the fact of knowing that if somebody walked up to me, they gonna say, "Nah, kill him first. He a man."
And especially, no offense to, you know, other cultures, but especially with a black man.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Because you really ain't looked at as nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, to certain, you know.
I just want to throw that out there because for us to give life, we be the first ones to give our physical life before we can do anything. Even with an innocent black man or a black man that has been through something, or if he's done wrong, still expendable, and shoot first, ask questions later. That's for all men. Yes, it's harder for black men more, but I'm talking about men in general.
Right. I'm talking about men in general, but I'm I can't deny the fact that yes, black men too, you know, or men of color have it even worse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I would rather somebody understand themselves, being able to sit down as a man and talk man to man with another man, and really have these discussions where, did you cry recently and not feel ashamed about it? Did you feel like you was unwanted and not feel ashamed about it? You know, because most young men that are joining gangs or in groups like that, they ain't gonna say it, but that's why they with them, for companionship.
They with them because they want a family. They want a support system.
Right.
They, you know, they want an outlet to unleash their anger and frustration out on other people as a way to justify. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, they say they doing it for a color or for a territory, or I'm doing it for this reason, that reason. No, you're not. You're doing it just because you're angry and you're mad and you want a reason to have an outlet to unleash those things, because you have not been taught how to verbalize your emotions the way you need to.
You know, that was another thing that was going on. Before we get to this next segment, I'm gonna put this on right now. There was a conversation I seen on a podcast. I don't remember the name and I don't remember who it was about, but I remember what they said. And it was a woman talking about legalizing prostitution and how that would help the aggression of men calm down, because now they're having access to sex, and it kind of helps them calm the fuck down. They bust a nut, and then now it's like, okay, well, I ain't got no reason to be all upset. Now this is just her way of thinking. This was her way of thinking, and feeling like if we had prostitution in the United States, that would stop a lot of the violence and anger of men. Now, when I sat and thought about it, I said, let me think about what she just said. If I was able to go down the street, baby, you know what? Don't worry about doing nothing tonight. I'm finna go down to Kim Woo's or Kim, the Back 'em Up City or whatever, and I'm gonna go knock down this prostitute, and I'm gonna come back and we gonna have a conversation later. All right, baby, I'll talk to you later. I go do the thing, I come back. Do you believe that that's gonna help me be a better communicator?
No. It's gonna relieve some stress off of you, but it ain't gonna teach you how to communicate.
But that's what she said. So
you're okay. So the way that it's set up, y'all got a lot against y'all, right? No, hold on. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, break it down. Men have a lot of testosterone,
right?
Testosterone-driven decisions,
right?
But y'all also have a lot of pressure on y'all too,
right? The
pressure to go into society, to provide for your family, to, you know, a man ain't valued based off of the person that they are. They're valued off of their status or what they can provide.
True. Or
how much money they make or what possessions they have. Yeah. You know, and it's like a woman don't even want to look at you if you don't have those things.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it makes it hard for men, you know, in that aspect too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. You have to be everything we say that women don't have to do, we gotta do. You know, like, oh baby, you don't have to put your hair on and you ain't gotta put all that makeup on, this and that, but guess what? No, we do need to make sure we are groomed properly. We do need to keep ourselves clean and look a certain way, because women are not for the fool with you. Let me go out the house clean every day. I'm talking about like suit down, fresh fade, everything. A woman will stop and talk to me every chance she got, because she sees an opportunity. He's a well-kept man, and maybe he can help me be well-kept.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. But and that's the fucked up mindset, because it's like you run into these women, they not looking to be with you for you. They looking for a come up. Mm-hmm. They looking to be taken care of.
That thing Sam said, hey, what'd he say? Ads again. Hey man, One day I'm gonna get some money to where I can help out the people that watch my channel and come through.
But they looking for a come up. They see they see what you have, and they say, well, damn, he got all that going on. I want to see what that's about. Maybe he can get me looking good and upgrade my life and shit. You know, they're not looking for no love or no companionship. They looking for a come up.
It goes back to the primal thought.
And if you stupid enough to fall for that, and let's say you do end up having a child by somebody like that, guess what's finna happen next? Now they finna use that baby as a pawn. Whenever she feel like it, you know, she not getting her way, or she not getting the exact amount of money she need to be getting from you. Now you can't see your child. Now you can't be a good father. Now you can't be there to raise your offspring.
Yeah, we've seen this in sports. I've had this happen to me. I've been through it. Still going through it. Even though I'm not even in a relationship. The wounds of bad choices will come back to haunt you no matter how good you was trying to be or whatever. I made a poor choice. I'll put it like that. Poor choice of picking a woman that I thought cared about me when really it was just a come up. And I can say that now, considering from back in the day I couldn't, but I can say it now.
But the more deeply rooted issue is of you making that decision was you went to a person like that because
that's what I knew.
Because that's what you knew was old and familiar, and not only that, you wasn't receiving no love in your own household. So of course, just like anybody, they're gonna go outside and look for it in the wrong places.
In the wrong places. So I can look at it like that as a man.
We've all done that.
And that's why I said the last video, that young man hit a point. I know a lot of women don't want to hear what he just said, but it was dead ass. It was dead ass. It was dead ass on point. And this next video we got for y'all is going to be more on point too. I haven't seen none of these videos, just to let y'all know. So I'm just hearing this shit as it goes too. So let's pull this up. Make sure the volume is loud. And then we on.
With the men is, men, we give life, a woman gives birth. If I put my seed in messed up soil, what do you expect the harvest to be? So men, we gotta do self-inventory to say, hold on, you fine, baby, but you're not refined. For me, you're cute, but you're not acute with the way that I look at information and process information. So then we're not gonna be in alignment. So when you just saying, oh, she fine, she gotta walk, but you're not hearing what she talk, you just looking at that walk, you get in trouble. And it happened to me. I'm talking to me because I'm not casting my stone and throwing stones at anyone else. I'm talking about the self-inventory that I do for me. You can't call your baby mother crazy. She was who she was before you laid down with her, but you didn't have a discernment to see it because you was thinking with taste, touch, see, smell, and hear instead of intuition, discernment, and clairvoyance. They call it the third eye, but really it's your first eye. Your spiritual eye is your first eye. If you lead with your first eye, these two eyes can't be deceived. But if you lead with your two physical eyes, your spiritual eye can be deceived because the physical is an illusion. The problem with the men is, men, we give life, a woman gives birth. If
I'm gonna play it one more time,
seed
and then we got
messed up soil, what do you expect the harvest to be? So men, we gotta do self-inventory to say, hold on, you fine, baby, but you're not refined. For me, you are cute, but you're not acute with the way that I look at information and process information. So then we're not gonna be in alignment. So when you just saying, oh, she fine, she gotta walk, but you're not hearing what she talk, you just looking at that walk, you get in trouble. And it happened to me. I'm talking to me because I'm not casting my stone and throwing stones at anyone else. I'm talking about the self-inventory that I do for me. You can't call your baby mother crazy. She was who she was before you laid down with her, but you didn't have a discernment to see it because you was thinking with taste, touch, see, smell, and hear instead of intuition, discernment, and clairvoyance. They call it the third eye, but really it's your first eye. Your spiritual eye is your first eye. If you lead with your first eye, these two eyes can't be deceived. But if you lead with your two physical eyes, your spiritual eye can be deceived because the physical is an illusion. The problem with
with that being said, like this gentleman was saying, I respect what he just said was, like I just said, myself making a poor choice.
Right.
I fell in love and trauma bonded with my first wife. I did. And I wanted to just have a good friend and a good person to be with. What I didn't realize though was just like she said, I went to a woman that I knew, like my mother, like my sister, and then eventually thinking that, oh, okay, well, since I'm with her, she's not gonna be like them. She's gonna be like, who I would want to be with. Wrong. She didn't grow over time. And eventually we ended up with opposites anyway, still going separate ways. But the whole reason for being in a relationship with me was already the wrong reason to begin with. Now, maybe somewhere down the line, she probably did fall in love with me. But originally, no, it was not that. I can see it now than I did when I was in it, because at the time I was infatuated with just wanting to be with somebody.
Okay, I got a different spin on that.
Okay.
Now, and I'm gonna just say this, and for what I've seen in my experience of the 47 years I've been alive, we don't realize it, but we are often attracted to the toxicity of other people because it's the same toxicity that's within us.
Right.
See,
Familiar.
you're trying to we can point the finger at the other person,
right,
and say, oh, she was this or he was that or whatever, but they only was being who they were the whole time, like he said. But you like that though because you have toxicity in you that was taught from your parents.
Right.
I have toxicity in me, and that's what draw me to, different people that I've been in relationships with that it didn't work out. And you can't have a healthy relationship with two trauma-filled people. It don't work. You still dealing with your own traumas. I'm dealing with mine. Yeah, we bonding. We can identify with each other's traumas that we've lived through certain situations that are similar, but we ain't gonna do nothing but trigger each other trying to be together because we haven't healed. You ain't healed. I ain't healed. Two unhealed people. What we doing? We got an unhealed relationship.
But then you got those people who are just like drug addicts who are functioning, I guess I want to say functioning, what's the word I want to use? It's functioning something.
We don't
functioning dysfunction. Like
right.
They function off of dysfunction. Like they can still go to work, they still do everything they normally do.
Yeah.
But once they're home and they're dealing with the spouse, kids, whatever, they dysfunctional as hell.
You know what? It's some people that aren't healed, they get a dopamine high off of creating chaos in their own lives. And it could be nothing going on, but if it's too perfect, this don't feel right.
I've done that.
I'm finna stir up some shit. I'm finna create an argument. I'm finna do it all. I'm finna go off the rails just so I can feel normal again.
Yep. I raised my hand to that because I was so used to being around an argument, a fight, something like that. My wife, I can tell you hers. You know what her chaos fix is? Cops. She could not go to sleep without listening to somebody getting thrown or some police officer saying freeze or gunshots, all that. She couldn't. She had to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm so used to a certain lifestyle. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm going to go on and say it. I was born into a lifestyle. My father was a drug dealer, and my mother chose to be with him for the lifestyle, and there's a lot of stuff that she took us through, and I say she because she made a conscious decision to stay with him, even though she knew what the ramifications was. She didn't care about that. So all of that bullshit that came along with, being with him, I had to go through it too because I didn't have a choice. That was my mother. Yeah. So I'm following her lead. Right. And we done had cops busting down the doors where our apartment got raided, all kinds of shit going on, right? Fiends coming to the door, knocking, looking for him, for their next fix or whatever. So I had become accustomed to, hearing chaos and violence and all kinds of stuff, to the point where if you put me in a silent room to go to sleep, I can't do it. I gotta have some kind of audio or something of, like, I used to play cops at night while I'm going to sleep. And then all you hear in the background was, "Get out of the ground, freeze!" Dogs barking, all that, like, and then I sleep peacefully. And my husband was like, when he first noticed that, he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Cause I'm like, I'm going to bed. It's like 2 a.m. All right, baby, I'm good.
Because I was so used to chaos. It soothes me, and the peacefulness of a silent room, it disturbs my soul. It took me years to realize that that's what was going on.
Man,
it was a conditioning.
It was a conditioning. So it's the same thing when it comes to men. And then with young men who don't know about an aggressive lifestyle, like myself, I would have been a bookworm if I could read.
Yeah.
Really good. I really probably would have been a bookworm. I love video games. I didn't really get into sports until like I was a almost grown teenager. Like I was a late teenage bloom with sports, because then I started getting more active, instead of being more sheltered, because I was sheltered because of how I was as a child and how I got treated. But eventually I spreaded my wings and I went and tried sports and I went and tried some things. But the one thing, and I got to say this to my homie, I don't know if he's still in here or not, but I got to give Galveston Stunner some credit, because he's helped me through so much stuff as young men. We basically, I hoped I helped him, but he helped me.
Stunner, man.
And I remember the day that he took me to Heritage Choir. He said, "Hey, man, you ought to come and join in here." We really was going there for the girls, but with his true thing to get me in there to do that was beautiful.
He said, "Can I make a joke here?" Go ahead, Sam. I know your dark ass humor. You want to say something? Go ahead and say it. It's just a safe space.
Yeah.
But nah.
We need to laugh though.
But shout out to Stunner, man, for real, because not only has he helped you, he helped me get through a lot of, my own emotional shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Come to find out y'all related.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. And it's like, never knew it, because didn't know my origins for real. Yeah. I've been lied to most of my life about who I'm related to. But I automatically always gravitated towards him. And I couldn't figure out why. We was always like, connected closely like that. And I would have never known.
It's funny, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. What does it say?
Sam wants to make a joke. He said, "Can I make a joke here?"
Yeah. We waiting on you. Yeah. But looking at that and just thanking him for helping me with everything, it just shows you that I did eventually run into a group of men who carry themselves well, and this brother is a great father, great husband that I know of. I don't know. I don't really honestly know. But shout out to you, man. Thank you for always helping me be a better man through a good friend, and I will always be indebted to you for that. I tell you this every time I speak to you, man. I love you to death. So. And speaking of that too, we got a video with that, with men talking about they love each other. We're going to get into that later too. But right now we got this first one. This lady going to say something. I'm waiting on Sam joke now.
No, Sam saying, he said, how people use white noise to help them go to sleep. He said, well, I'm just saying. Yeah, but you know what? But it psychologically, it goes well beyond white noise.
Yeah.
When that me having to play chaos in the background just for me to feel at ease, it's more psychological than anything.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? So now I'm trying to deprogram myself to not have to function that way.
Yeah. I remember when she was going through a cheetahs phase, because she was loving to see fights and arguments too. And now it's funny because now I want to watch fights and arguments now. And when I watch cops
this was a conditioning. If I've been raised up in a violent household, and I've never seen my parents sit down and actually talk to each other to resolve an issue. They resolve their issues by fighting and arguing. So I'm already, hey, this is what it is. This is how people function. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, fighting and arguing is how people resolve their differences. So when I got into, relationships, that's how I felt like it needed to be handled.
Man. It's sad.
It took me years to realize that no, you fucking up, and this is not how you need to handle this.
You say not quite the reaction I was expecting for the punchline. Now you good. You good. But I can tell you this, Sam, like I said, just understanding being a man and understanding your emotions is something so important these days now, especially with the climate we're in right now. I don't care, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all men. Right now, it is so important we stay on our P's and Q's for the people that we do have to protect. Because I'm going to tell you like this, whether you want to know it or not, we do got to do it. We do. Mm-hmm. That was the main purpose.
Yeah.
That's the main purpose. If you look at any male in the animal kingdom, it go back to the same old, except for a few exceptions, depending on the species. But 90% of the men or male animals die. Protect, defend. It's all there.
But it's hard to protect and defend a female who feels like they don't need your protection.
Right.
And they feel that way because they ain't never had it. You see what I'm saying?
Or they probably did have it, but their mother didn't want them to have it because they never had it.
Right.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. That's how fucked up the cycle is.
Yeah. But nobody wants to be held accountable. We ain't do shit. Y'all ain't do shit. So, just a bunch of fucked up motherfuckers just watching Twitch and YouTube. And I'm just keeping it 100 right now.
Yeah.
Because everybody's looking at how to fix themselves. If you ain't looking at how to fix some shit. But I can tell you like this, though, to be happy. Wherever you are in this moment, find yourself and be happy. So we got a woman right here that's saying something, and we going to just let her talk. We going to let her spit game. And then we got one more video, because this is going to be a short one, y'all. But we finna let her spit game. Hold on. Let me let her get loud.
I don't want my husband to just work and pay bills. I don't want him to not have a hobby. I don't want him to not have healthy mental health. I don't want him to not have savings. I don't want him to work and slave all day, every day to take care of my bills, our bills, and me just sit there and not contribute anything. This is coming from a young lady who has never been married. I don't have any kids. I have a dog. I'm fully educated, pay my own bills right now, and it is difficult. I have a great career, and it is difficult. So when I think of getting married and building with someone or coming together and bringing our assets together, I could never lay in my bed knowing that my husband has no life and no freedom and maybe no peace because all he does is work and pay bills so that I can enjoy, as if he doesn't deserve to enjoy. I truly want a partnership, but I don't want my husband.
That's some real shit right there. That is some real shit right there. And see, a lot of people ain't gonna agree with that statement what she just made. But that's some real ass shit. You can't expect all of that out of a man, and you ain't coming to the table with nothing. You just expecting to be taken care of. You gonna take this man through all this shit. He gotta work all day. You not doing nothing to give him no peace. And then when we watch Cheetahs all the time, right? Mm-hmm. What's the main thing that every woman say when they got a good man who work and provide? You ain't home enough. Mm-hmm. You ain't home enough. Well, goddamn. What am I supposed to do? You want me? You want all these? You expect all these things, right? You're want all this material shit. I'm trying to provide it to you, but you talking about time? You talking about time?
For who?
So do you want to get up off your ass and help bring some stuff to the table so that way I won't have to work? It's hard.
If you fellas want to vent that out in the chat, go ahead. Like even if it ain't that, or you just know somebody that's going through it, like put that out there, man. Get that shit off your chest, because I'm gonna tell you like this. My baby work hard enough to provide this. I'm not even finna sit in front. So when I say I got comfort and I can chill and do what I want to do, it's because of her. I'm not going to sit here in front on that. Now, yes, I do my part. And yes, it must be stunning.
He said that's why you get 50 pumps now. I got shit to do in the morning. Yeah, man. What the fuck? They want you, they expect you to work all day. They expect you to fuck them good. They expect you to buy them all this bullshit.
Trips.
Yeah, trips. All kind of shit. And what you getting in return? What are you getting? Just to say you got a baddie at home. Amazing. Oh, I look good. I am the gift. I'm the package. Bull motherfucking shit. You know how many women out there that look exactly like you better?
Not better. And they ain't gonna do half of the shit that you time up that you don't want to do. They gonna probably do more, and they ain't even gonna be with this man. They'll just do it for the day and be going about their business.
Man.
And that's what most men probably won't have at the time. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. I'm just thankful for my marriage and my relationship. We not perfect, but I know that I'm blessed as a male being with her. What'd he say?
He said head on your birthday or anniversary. Yeah. for real.
Why can't be every day?
Why can't not every day. Now hold on.
But you know what I meant to say. It don't need to be on a special occasion,
bruh. Okay, it don't have to be on a special occasion, but it definitely cannot be every day.
Nah, because then it get old.
Yeah, you gotta.
Well, I meant to say not on special.
You gotta
occasions.
build that shit up.
It could be a random day. That's what I'm trying to say. It
could be a random. Like in the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, and then,
don't plan it out. I hate planned out sex.
Yeah.
That's one thing, man.
Well,
don't plan no shit out.
You don't want no, the crevices ain't right though. You know what I'm saying? You don't want no salty.
I ain't talking about like that. I'm saying like, don't try to plan. Okay, pencil you in on Wednesday. Type shit.
Like you a secretary. Like,
yeah, nah, man, fuck that shit, man. I don't want that. You keep your dick. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Yeah, if it can't be passionate and spontaneous, I don't want it. I don't want somebody that's just gonna be up there talking about, well, let's just get it over with.
Oh man, yeah, man, ladies. If y'all watching this video, yo, man, y'all got a good man. He go to work, he come home, he spends time with you, or whatever. Do something nice. Go run him a bath and light some candles. The same shit that most men will do for women. There's some dudes like that shit they ain't gonna say.
That's what Luke was saying. He said, "I am your wife. I'm the greatest good you ever gonna get."
I've actually heard that.
Oh yeah. Look, he made a point too. Stunner said he don't like what is that? Petty pussy either.
Yeah. Oh, you could just have some.
I would rather you say you sorry and that's it. Yeah, pity.
Yeah, the pity sex. Yeah, nobody want that either.
Don't know.
But I'm just saying for ladies out there, if you really want to treat your man the same shit that y'all be wanting, we like too. We like candy. We like flowers. We do. It's the dudes ain't gonna say it, but they do. They would appreciate that shit. Because if you're doing it out of nowhere, especially out of nowhere, well, the first thing he gonna think is like, what the fuck he did wrong, really. Mm-hmm. Most dudes gonna go that route. I've done that. Cause even my wife took me out to eat one time and I was like, okay. And we just doing shit. I'm like, what's the fuck going on? Like I was appreciating what was going on, but it was so spontaneous that I couldn't fathom what was going on at the time.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I don't even let him know when I'm about to do something. I just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a surprise, type shit.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, women. A lot of women. I'm not gonna say all again. Mm-hmm. So just for clarity reasons.
Right.
A lot of women don't like to hold themselves accountable. And they feel like they don't have to apologize to a man. Mm. What I need to apologize to you for? Instead, for me to counter it, I'm going to offer you some sex and feel like that's good enough.
He said he like pink tacos. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
I don't want to have to say I'm sorry to you because that would mean me having to admit that I'm wrong.
That you're wrong.
And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to just open my legs and then that's going to be that. And then you need to get the fuck over it.
Wow.
I'm saying that's the mindset.
It's a mindset for some women. Not all women, but some.
Not all.
It's funny because if a man's doing that, oh man, here we go. Oh, use a sorry excuse. You this, you that. I'm talking about if a man was to act like a woman and put all those certain traits and stipulations up there like that.
Yeah.
Which some men do when it comes to the way you look or the way you carry yourself. And this is the same thing I try to teach my boys because I don't believe in all that makeup and wigs and shit. A woman in her natural look is who you're going to be with. That's who you with. Yeah, she can doll up and everything, but when you see her with all that shit on, that's who you with.
Yeah, they're not the representative. The representative is the one with the lace front on and the bat wing eyelashes and got her face beat up.
And that outfit that you saw her in and that thong you saw her in before, that ain't gonna be the same shit you gonna be with if you choose to be with her.
That caught your eye when her yams was yamming.
Yeah, they were yamming.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but guess what though?
Now they sweet potato pie.
Beauty depreciates over time.
Yeah,
so all this bad bitch that you got now, she ain't gonna stay like that. She ain't gonna stay like that. Not forever. Some shit gonna start drooping. Some things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When she take her bra off, them bitches gonna drop to her knees. So you gotta deal with the reality, not the illusion, man.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with that fucked up attitude that she gonna have. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna last a lifetime. If she don't decide to change it.
And save yourself, man. Just because it's there. I'm gonna tell this to all the men that's in here now.
Yeah.
Just because it's there does not mean it needs to be dove in and touched and all of that. Be more selective with your partners.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? All men, be more curious. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't have a good time. You do what you want. But be careful because that does, when you sharing your energy, it could latch on to you.
Yeah. And then guess what? What you thought was casual sex, now then turned into 18 years or more of pain. You got to deal with this motherfucker because you done decided to have a baby with the wrong bitch.
Don't get Usher. No. Don't get Usher because he wanted to do some shit, remember?
Yeah.
On the confessions. And then now he got to go back to his real girl and let her know that the girl that wanted to have a kid by him she's not finna have a kid. Another woman that don't even want to have a kid is finna have his baby. That's crazy.
Yeah. That went in there and shot up the club. Yeah, stunning for real. Like, all for what? 3 minutes. 2 minutes of pleasure.
Yeah, cause ain't nobody.
Cause regardless of what nobody say, sex ain't lasting that long, dude. Sex don't last that long. Not for real, for real. Most of the time that's been put into sex, if you're doing it right, is going to be with the foreplay. But the physical act, it ain't lasting like that.
Like my boy Stunner said, 50 pumps. Or less, depending on who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And that's going to be it. You're going to be good to go. So, ladies, for those who need a little extra, you go and get your friend from that store. Was it a Lightning 2000?
The rabbit?
The rabbit, or get the different vibrational centrifugal force, or whatever you want to call them damn toys, and go handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? And for the fellas, that's the one thing. Mental Health Month for males. If you are young and you still have not get it, man, that's the one thing I can say. I'm going to say this before because now we in the funny zone now. I wish I would have had all the toys that men got now. I didn't want to be jacking off in no goddamn magazine or videos. They got all these toys. They got pocket pussies and they got live dolls. They got dolls that move their mouth and all kind of shit.
So let me ask you this. Let's say you did have that in your younger days. Mm-hmm. You think that you would have made some better decisions had you had bust that nut off?
Man.
First.
I'd probably be a millionaire. Probably would have invented some better shit. I said we gonna need to work on this a little bit more.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna tell you
because the like post nut clarity is real.
It's real.
So you know you hard. You know what I'm saying? You wanna dive in something. You don't give a damn what her attitude is, what her goals are. None of that shit. You just see some pussy. You don't give a damn if she like a silverback, but if it's some pussy right there. Yeah, man.
Like, well, you know what?
I said I'm gonna take my chances. I'm gonna go ahead on. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to get this nut off. But then once you do that, then you start saying, well, I'm starting to see some things that I ain't seen at first. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way this motherfucker talk to me.
What was that movie? What was that movie, Shallow Hell? That movie, Shallow Hell? Same thing. Like that. It's like I said, it goes back to what that lady was saying about having prostitution and helping men relieve themselves. You know
why you can't relieve your own goddamn self? Why you need
prostitution? You can, but I mean, just saying, like, still being with a physical woman is a different experience. No different than a woman being a physical man.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Y'all can judge me if y'all want to, okay? But I'm gonna say this: as a mother, I talk to my sons raw. I don't talk to them like, you know, they my child. I talk to them like they grown men. I said, this is Keisha talking to y'all right now, not your mother. Any relationship you get in, don't let this girl or feel pressured to have sex with them. If you do feel like you want to do that, man, go beat off before you get with this girl for real. Do it. No, I'm serious. And that will clear up a lot of shit that you gonna see before you decide to make that decision. If you still, you know, if your senses are warped. Yeah. You know, when you're in a horny state.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The hormones are kicking in. Your judgment is clouded. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Go and get that off.
Yeah, I admit I had to learn that lesson. And you might get a little bit more time in if you do that way too. And for most men who don't know this, the second one is always better than the first. I'm just keeping that 100. I know it's getting a little, you know, a little spicy in the conversation, but we grown ass people in here.
Yeah, man, what?
Yeah, so I'm just telling you, the second one is better than the first. So yeah, go rub that out and then come back and then see if you could even maintain to get to that zone. Because in order to get to that second nut clarity, that's going to be a euphoria that if you have never done that before and you watching this now, go ahead, because I'm telling you like this, ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better. And then the third one, that's almost on death march right there. And I've got to that point where you almost kill yourself, and you don't want to do that.
He said second. He said shit after the first. He said he sleep.
You know,
slopes.
I've been able to experience the third level.
Well, okay, hold on.
There's three levels that I know of.
We talking about now. We talking about back in the day. Because back in the day, though, you know, we used to have marathons, and I know. Your stunner can attest to this too. You know what I'm saying? Freaky ass.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I'm saying though, we had marathons. We had energy and youth on our side. Not now. Man, I ain't trying to do all that like that, man. Yeah. Like he said, I gotta go to work in the morning. Let's go ahead on.
Yeah. Yeah, we're more.
You might get a round 2 out of me. You might.
Maybe, but I ain't tripping. I ain't on that. I ain't on no skiing trips no more like I used to.
Yeah, we old, man.
Going down the slopes all day long. And then next thing you know, my stuff hurt.
Fuck it till you raw.
Yeah.
That don't make no damn sense. When you done went all day and night, you ain't took no time to eat nothing. Y'all ain't went, you know what I'm saying? All y'all did was get up, go to the bathroom.
That's some good energy.
That's all y'all did was go to the bathroom. That's it. How you go all day without no food?
Hey, man.
And fucking.
Hey.
That's wild.
It is what it is. And we deviated so far off that goddamn
subject. He said ads.
Yeah, see, good. But look, we got one more video, y'all. We want to bring in the funny points.
Instead of saying my knee hurt. Shit, my knees hurt too. Nah, shit. I can't rodeo like I used to, but I still give it a go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You better rub some damn Big Gay on that shit and keep it going.
Nah, man, my back, bro. Like I can't.
I don't want to hear nothing about that.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to hear nothing about that.
Mm-mm. Like the spirit is willing.
The spirit is willing.
But what's your body say, nigga? You better sit your ass down. It is what it is. But I want to say something to all the fellas that's in here. And ladies, if you in here, this is not to discredit y'all. Thank y'all for coming through today, too, as well. But I was doing something with my son recently, and this has been all over the internet. And I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to say my piece afterwards. But check this out.
These videos are so hilarious. One thing I noticed, a guy cannot tell his friend good night. If so, they will think he is. Yeah, I know what I want to say, but I can't say it.
Yo.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
What you want?
Shit, none, chilling at the house.
Okay. I ain't gonna keep.
Huh?
I ain't gonna keep you long, bro. You good?
I'm gonna put the mic down here.
Yeah, I'm good. What's up?
Hold on. But now I had just got home from the movies. I was just calling to tell you good night.
Nigga, what the fuck your gas on, nigga? How niggas beat it with this gay shit y'all got going on? What's nothing to do with me? No. Nah, nigga. Nah, get the fuck on, nigga. I'm not on that. Nah, you go do this shit with Jalen or something. You know, Jalen. They ain't on that. Matter of fact, call your girl. How about after the movie? You should be with her anyways. You know what? Man, she sit here and play with you.
Why you go up on me like that? Yo.
Yo, man.
What you on, bro?
Shit, just in here real quick. You hear me?
You hear me, bro?
No, nigga. Yo, I hear you now.
I'm locked down for a
I'm gonna look away.
Bro, what's going on with your phone, bro?
I don't know, your shit tweaking.
I just had to say one thing, bro. I just left the movies, and I just got back home from the movies.
Uh-huh. Bro, your shit breaking up, bro.
Now I was just calling to tell you good night type shit.
Nigga, what?
You heard what I said?
Nah, I didn't hear. You said you leaving the movies and what?
I said I just got home. I was calling to tell you good night.
Nigga. You sweet ass nigga.
Yo. What you on?
Chilling, bro.
I just got back home. You said what?
What's up, bro?
I just got back home for the movies. I was just calling to tell you good night.
Oh, bro.
Yo.
What are you doing?
I just got home. What are you talking about? I just seen you 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, bro. I just want to say goodnight to you. Like, I just want to wish you good night. That's it.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, bro. Like, I just want to say, like, I had a fun time hanging out with you tonight, and I just want to, like, say goodnight to you and wish you good sleep.
What the fuck is going on right now? Bro.
Yeah, good night.
Yo, bro.
Sure. Yeah. Like,
Yo, bro.
you get butt played with, bro? Like,
I was just calling you to say goodnight, bro.
yeah, bro. Yo, you good? You getting active or what? Like, you sound like you giggling, getting your butt played in when you call me?
Bro, just saying goodnight, bro.
Yeah. Yo.
Yo, Larry.
Man, you calling the wrong number. These freak hours. You calling
Yo, bro.
What's up, bro?
Shit, bro. I was just calling you to say goodnight, bro.
What you talking about? What you talking about, bro? What you talking about? You calling me to say goodnight?
I was just saying goodnight, bro. Tell you have a good night.
What you calling me saying goodnight for, freak? Yo.
Bro, I just was saying goodnight, bro. That's bro.
It's 11 o'clock over there, bro. You talking about good night, nigga?
Alright, bro. Good night, bro.
Why are you calling me? What's up?
Yo, what's good?
Yo, bro.
What's up, dog? Shit, I'll just call you to say good night, bro.
Good night, what you talking about?
I'll just call you to say good night, bro. That's
What you mean good night?
I have a good night, bro.
What you doing?
I ain't doing nothing, bro. I just call you to say good night.
Fuck out of here, man. You ain't coming good.
Is there more? Is there more?
Bro, I just said good night, bro.
Just kidding,
But they get the gist of it. They get the gist of it. So what I want to say about that is, first of all, that's funny as shit. You on the court?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I got it.
Move your leg.
Yeah. I'm off of it.
Yeah. So these were funny reactions. It's funny, but it's sad at the same time.
Yeah.
Because men, y'all gotta normalize sharing emotions and communicating better. It's like you seen how offended they was by the fact and the matter they got. You know what that really was? fear
and
of being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? You can't even tell your friend good night without it seeming a certain way because of all this male bravado. You know what I'm saying? Like, why it gotta be?
Oh, you sure can't, Sam.
Why it gotta be all like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The funniest thing
we did this experiment recently with our son. Our son did this with his friends, and they got these same reactions from his friends.
Right.
When Chicken Wing did it with his friends, it was genuine.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I love you too. You know, good night. Yeah, I appreciate you calling me, you know, this and that. And I think that a lot of it comes from emotional intelligence and maturity.
Yeah.
You know, maturity goes along with that. The older you get, you know, you don't feel so threatened. You'll be happy that anybody check on you at this age.
At this age, that's what I called him. Oh yeah, bro. I sure appreciate that.
You know,
man. Thank you, man. I love you too, man. Like they was happy.
They was happy. Yeah, you know what
somebody
I'm saying?
checking on me. Shit.
So the prank didn't work with, you know, or people of our age bracket.
Right.
But the younger kids, they still learning. So, because his bracket of friends is anywhere from 18 to 24.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they still haven't really, they're not really all the way mature yet.
And I'm not mad about it, but I was happy. Shit, I told him, I said, and he was like, "Damn, Daddy, you really got some good friends." I said, "No." I say it was just that so most of us are happy to be alive because most black men don't live that long. Like,
but that communication factor. What I'm saying is, that's learned behavior.
It is learned behavior though. Yeah,
you know,
all that time about this is that, and you know, just
you got to be hard all the time because you a man and all this and that. That you can't show no kind of sensitivity whatsoever. Man, that's wrong.
That's wrong. It is. So we wanted to show that and just get our laugh on with that last bit, you know, just to let y'all know, man, if you a male out here, it's Male Mental Health Month, man. Make sure you good. Make sure you got people you can communicate with, and make sure that you do have an open space, a safe place for you to express yourself, man.
Right.
For real. Whether that's with dudes, women, whoever you communicate with, you know what I'm saying? And your pets too, because pets can help you get through a lot of stuff. A lot of men don't think they should have pets, but it's some men who's smart enough to go get a pet, you know, and they have somebody
for emotional
support. So
shit, pets sometimes help you more than motherfucking humans do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's dogs that'll be there for you, cats, animals, and you can sit there, come home, and talk to them and shit, and they'll probably treat you better than most people you fuck with.
They happy to see your ass come home and shit. While the humans is like, man, what the fuck you doing here?
Yeah, cats do that too, but they gonna still say feed me and shit like that. Well, what does it say?
Dooney is the mental health guy, so his friends would know it's genuine. Yeah, that's true.
That's true. But true. I mean, I've always been like that, but I can be an asshole too now. It's been a long time, but I can do it.
Man, y'all don't even know that side right there.
It's still around. It's just I
know it is. I know.
It's more refined. See, this is why Moose Knuckle was born, because of my ignorance. So Moose Knuckle got created, and so that counteracts, you know, my male toxic tendencies. You know, I'm just being real. You see, she already, you know, Moose Knuckle down, so, you know, she come back prepared to make sure, you know, she.
All I'm saying is, you know, I know what month this is.
Yeah, for real.
But this don't need to be the only time we acknowledge it.
Yeah, for real.
Men's mental health is important, just as important as anybody else's. Mm-hmm. You're not expendable. You mean a lot to everyone. You have a lot of people depending on you. And I value all men, you know, no matter what race you are. What's her nickname? Oh, he called me Moose Knuckle. Don't ask me why that came about.
You started saying it.
No.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't know you actually started that.
No, I have documentation and video to prove you started that, and I've been running with it since. You started.
No,
that.
I mentioned about Moose Knuckles, and then you started calling me Miss Moose Knuckle.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from.
I know that.
But I said it in conversation.
And you kept saying it. And then I was like, well, fuck it. This is who your new persona.
So like, so you created it. Once again.
I can tell a difference. That's all I'm saying. There's a different side of you when you are Keisha. And then there's...
Everybody has different sides. Everybody is, I'm not funny or loving all the time.
Yeah.
I treat people according to how they treat me. And everybody know, including, Stunner, of all people know this. We are Scorpios. I match energy. I reciprocate energy. So if you coming at me wrong, then you're gonna see a different side of me that come out. Now, if you don't want to see that side, then you know what I'm saying. Then treat me accordingly. That's all I'm saying. I'm not hard to get along with, for real.
Mm.
That's facts.
That's facts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I know I'm hard to get along with to a certain degree. I'm friendly as hell, but it's always the nice ones. I'm just telling y'all now. Just understand my psyche. I'm a real nice person until you don't want to see me angry. But no. In all fairness and all seriousness, y'all, just for all the males out there, man, take care of yourself mentally. Make sure you express your emotions in a constructive way that builds not only yourself but the people around you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That to me what makes a true man.
Right.
A male that can balance out his emotions and make good judgments.
Right.
That's what a man is. To me. I can't speak for everybody else, but to me, I can see that's what my father wanted to be. He just wasn't there yet. Mm-hmm. And I've lived past his age. And I know I'm there, but I even want more. I want better understanding. I want to be able to talk to my baby better. I want to be able to love and be around my children in a more constructive way. Mm. And even when I do need to discipline, I discipline in a good way. Not only does it benefit them, but it benefits me too. Mm-hmm. And that's where I want to be as a man. So that's my message to anybody out there who wants to be a father, who wants to be a male leader, lead. You have to be balanced. You cannot lead if you are unbalanced. That's it. Because we are talking about, well, you king, I'm a king. A king is going to keep his people happy. He's going to be, he's going to empathize. He's going to understand who he's protecting and who he's helping grow. And that to me is what a man is. What do you think a man is?
Well, I think a man is somebody who understands how important his value is. Mm. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh yeah, heavy as the crown though. Yeah, it is. It is. Trust me, I know. From a male side, it's gotta be heavy, man, because y'all responsible for so much and get so little credit for it.
Right.
You know? I think a healthy man is going to, make sure that he doesn't let his pride and ego get in the way of what he needs to do as a man.
Right.
And have some emotional intelligence to know that, I'm doing this for a greater purpose.
Right.
Not just for myself.
Right. I'm just grateful for all the male friends, and everybody I've grown up with over the years to know it helped make me who I am. Regardless if y'all have been around me stunning, like I say, man, like ride or die. But you've helped me be a better man every day. My marriage, my children. I've watched you. And I've tried. I've tried to emulate you in certain ways. I know it's gonna be funny as fuck for me to say this, but I'm gonna be real. A lot of brothers ain't gonna admit it, but I wanted to dress better because he was the better dresser than me. I wanted to, it's just certain things I absorbed from a lot of my homeboys. I feel like he was a ladies' man better than me. I feel like a lot of the other homies, I tried to just get things from them that I felt would benefit me as a person. And to all my friends out there that are male and I've been knowing you for years, that's not a put down. That's actually, I'm honored to know y'all, and I'm honored to know Sam. I'm honored to know you. I know you younger than me, but I'm gonna put you in this thing too, because meeting you, trying to deal with mental health, that lets me know already. And you younger than me. I'm older. You already doing it. So I look up to you too, bruh. That's why when you come around, I let you know, like, real talk. I appreciate you, just seeing you, knowing you around, because you are smart enough to want to do something regardless of what people saying. I see you, and I appreciate it. Renegade, another brother, you know what I'm saying?
That's ride or die there.
OG. I appreciate you, man, and just always supporting me, because you don't have to. He's hit every stream. Every time I stream, he racked up. So I shout out to you. So the love I get from my male homies and the people that I admire you guys, and I'm inspired. So I appreciate y'all, man, and I'm forever grateful. And then to anybody who supports this channel, for me and my wife as well, thank y'all. I know we didn't come with the funny today. My wife wanted to really hit this subject, and I'm thankful for it. I really am. And we gonna get back to the chaos and craziness though, because I really want a good laughing show. It's been a minute. Stunning has sent us so much shit. We got plenty of videos to work with, Stunning, so don't worry. You didn't send that shit in vain.
No, I think he's just saying stuff just because it's funny, not to necessarily use on the show, but it's just something funny to laugh at. He like to laugh and stuff. I like to laugh at shit. Yeah. And we be laughing at shit that ain't supposed to be funny, but right. That's that dark humor.
Yeah, dark humor. So I can't wait for another show, but this has been a long show. I think we haven't done a show since the beginning of May.
I don't remember.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
It's somewhere around there. But my baby was going through a lot, and plus her hours kept up. So I don't like to do this without her. Like, I was gonna think about doing a movie review. I've said something about Straw already, but I just want y'all to know, when we do this show, this is live. It's not scripted. We just talking about our true feelings. My baby will pick up the subjects, and we gonna go from there and have a good time.
Yeah.
But just thank y'all so much for supporting us. I think I got a new follow. I don't know if they stopped following me or what. But I'm at we're at 360 now, and I'm trying to get to 400 followers. And I know you don't know this or not, but I have a wifey sub. I have 3 more subs to complete my wifey sub. The wifey sub is for something, and that's what I got going on. So if you guys want to, contribute to the wifey sub, it's right there on the screen. It's basically just sub it to the channel. But if you don't want to do that and you want to contribute another way, I do have a PayPal, and I am taking donations.
That's on the main page,
yeah,
right?
It's on the main page. But I'm only doing this for something because it is our anniversary month, and I was trying to plan something around that and do my best to get that. If you cannot do it, you don't need to, bro, and I'm cool with that. I'm just trying to do my best to do what I can. Because this lady right here, I'm finna take her somewhere nice if I can and do something nice for her. So, with all that being said, we appreciate y'all, and we finna close out. Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
No, just, take care of y'all mental health. Everybody, even I don't care who it is watching.
Yeah.
Everybody take care of their mental health, man. It's important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, please do. And with all that being said, If you like what you see, I hope you did. I don't know if you did, but we gonna find out. You can follow, like, subscribe. If you don't want to,
You ain't got to.
you ain't got to. Just shooting the shit and coming through is good enough for me. I'm good with that. Anything you want to say?
You already asked me that.
I know. I always ask you, I don't want to seem like I'm always talking and you ain't getting a chance to talk. But thank y'all so much. I don't know when the next one gonna be. Don't come at me, please. Don't come at me. I do not know. She gonna let me know, and then that's when it's going down. With all that being said, thank y'all so much again. And y'all just try to take care of yourselves to your best ability and laugh, man. Go laugh.
That's the main thing.
Go live, love, laugh, sex, whatever you need to do. You better do it now because you only get one chance to do it.
Yeah.
So you better do it while you can. With all that being said, y'all stay blessed and highly favored. We gonna catch y'all later, man.
Peace.